My mother worked on this fragrance which became a legend called Eau Sauvage, and that's the one I was wearing at 5, because I suppose my father was traveling around the world and she had to spray it on somebody, so I was the guinea pig.
It was Pierre Cardin, and it was a stocking stuffer. I must have been like 9 or 10 years old, and I had just become obsessed with Lacoste and Jordache jeans and Pierre Cardin cologne.
I think the Versace was when I was 17. By Versace, a fragrance by Versace. Yeah, it was by Versace, with a Medusa in it.
My first fragrance is Calyx by Prescriptives, which is a fragrance that my mother created when she was there. That was so fresh and delicious, and I still remember it today. It was one of my favorite fragrances.
At the time that I was going to grad school in New York City, the Georgia of Beverly Hills was a big phenomenon. So we all use it, and I've been using it for 15 years.
The first fragrance I ever wore, I got for a birthday. It probably was 11, and it was Ralph Lauren's original Polo fragrance in the green bottle with the gold cap and the gold polo pony. We all wore it. We all smelled exactly the same. And it was a pretty intense fragrance for a 12-year-old too, now that I think back on it.
And I by Cacharel. And I remember you can still get it, and it's incredible the olfactory memory that we all have, that how much smells can take you back in time. I mean, I just have to smell that fragrance and it immediately takes me right back in time, a little bit like the Madeleine in Proust, you know.
So I called my mother today because I could not remember what fragrance my first fragrance was, but apparently my first fragrance was Cher's, I think it was called Inhibition, was my first fragrance.
That would be Calèche from Hermès, and I always have a vision. When I was a young girl, interested in perfume at that time, is the carriage on the bottle of the Hermès box. You have the carriage with the horses and the carriage. That's my memory of Hermès, my young years, you know. So Calèche from Hermès is my first one, my first love.
Well, that was when I was really young. So Lorraine by Ralph Lauren was my first fragrance. And mine is Quelque Fleur. Quelque Fleur. I still wear it. It's a lifetime of memories. It's a very long interview, that one.